me doing this fast walk backwards. Oh. Good morning everyone, and thanks for joining us for another Chen style Tai Chi class. As you can see, we have our lovely guest teacher. It's wonderful to have you, Willem Ackermans, and myself, Jane, and we're going to do some Chen revision. Some Lao Jia. So let's get started with the right hand in fist, please. Left hand straight, pull back the thumb. Let's salute the teachers. Lao Shi Hao and Xie San Hao. It's lovely to have you with us. Okay, so let's open our stance, and we're going to do some very by the book Chen warm-ups today in the order. Willem, you keep me right, please, because when I say by the book, then I feel I have to do it right. Let's lengthen up, please. Shoulder width with the feet, chin slightly down and back. Movement one, we're going to start the vertical spiral. So we feed the hips into the four corners and allow the spiral to travel up and down. Nice and relaxed. Let's do 30 on each side. Change direction. Excellent. Let's come back to center. And movement two, similar, but this time on the horizontal. So we're feeding into the four corners of the hips. And just let the rest of the body work with the motion into the four corners. I find with this one, as we're doing it, I need to keep my eyes open or I feel a bit seasick. You can play with the warm-up exercises, eyes open or closed, as you like. Find which way works best for you. Again, we'll aim for 30. Good, change direction, please. You make that 30? I lost count. Let's say that's 30. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to come a little forward. Yeah, and let's look at the ankle rotation. Oh, thank you, Bill. That's great. Very good. Okay, so keep the hips level. Come onto the ball of one foot and begin to spiral. Good, yes, you can take your hands to your hips. This is one of the exercises I've struggled with, and it's coming into my awareness that often an exercise we struggle with, it's nothing to do with the physicality, it's a blockage in the mind. If you think that this is difficult, it becomes difficult. Let's change direction, please. Just have to keep those hips level. Good, and a shake out. And on the other side. Funny, I find it easier on this side to keep the hips level. It's almost easy. Weird. Good. And let's change direction. Certainly I find, a lot of little hang-ups that I've had in my Tai Chi practice, I've realized that I created them by initially when I saw it going, how do you do that? That must be really difficult. And then it became really difficult. People around me who never thought about it just did it and did it really well. So you have to be so careful not to go, oh, how do you do that? Because it has consequences. So let's take a nice wide stance. And which one is this? This is the figure of 8? Yeah. Okay, so this is this interesting exercise where we set the hips in motion. And initially, the way I learned it, well, it's gone through many phases. You think of sending a spiral down one leg, and just doing that by moving your center, you naturally get this interesting little figure of 8 thing happening in your hips. And again, I'm going to try really hard not to say I can't do that. Hello, cat. And just relax and see what happens. So do the exercise with a bit of curiosity as opposed to going, oh, I can't do that, don't know what's going on there. Just give it a go. Just think of sending the spiral down one leg and allow the hips to do their thing. Moving from center. Good, and let's swap over to the other side. So you're sending your spiral. Think of the circle going out, forwards, in and back. And then allow the hips to do their little release and turn. Good, well done. And we come up without scaring a cat. Lovely. All right, let's do our leg stretch next. Yes? Okay, so we're just, if you have an injury, you have to work with what you've got and not make it worse. So just be aware, listen, feel, and adjust as necessary. So we're going to kick it out, bring the foot down, keep the hips level, hands either to the knee itself or just above the knee. Hello, push. And we want to stretch the back, nice and straight, and gently feed into the knee itself to encourage the leg to stretch. Encourage the knee to stretch. Breathe and relax. Good, and now pull those toes back and take hold same side if you can. Ellen's getting lots of feline help with this stretch. Good, all right, let's relax the foot down, ease up. We had a very interesting conversation with one of the ladies in training there at the weekend. We were at training with Master Chen Ying Jun over in Donegal. We just did 4 days of 6 hours a day. That's 24 hours of training. It was amazing, really. Always such a privilege to be in the presence of a master and to have hands-on tuition, literally correcting our postures and answering questions and doing the form with us. It was all very good. But we were having a conversation with one of the ladies who came over from Germany. And she had asked Grandmaster Chen, that's Chen Ying Jun's father, about this knee stretch exercise. And actually, the Grandmaster gave them a slightly different exercise to the one we just did. Saying that if you're a beginner, you can actually start with the knee slightly bent, and that you're pressing down and you focus on directing the pressure into what we call the bubbling well underneath this sort of front center of the foot. So if encouraging the knee back for stretch is just too much for you at this stage, or if you have knee issues that are giving you grief, that may be something that you can work on so that you're still feeling a stretch, but you're not hurting yourself. So that is allowing the knee to be slightly bent and pressing into it and feeling the pressure going down into the metatarsal arch, if you like, of the foot, going down into the floor. So that's a possible alternative for you, especially if there's a sort of knee replacement in the offing, if there's real concern over the knee joint rather than just general stiffness. You might want to try it that way. So it's good to know there's always an adaptation, and it's not just coming from ourselves. Actually, from the very top of our lineage, we are given adaptations for beginners or for folks who are struggling with issues. So you may want to try that. We'll do it on the other side, see how you get on. Okay, so let us kick it out, step down, and feed the hands down. So if you need to, a slight bend on the front knee for Grandmaster Chen's version, and as you press down, feel the pressure going down into the Yongquan, the bubbling well. Otherwise, if you can, encourage the knee back into a stretch and keeping the body straight. Breathe and relax into that stretch. Good, release, pull the toes back. Very good, and relax the foot down and up you come. As you can see, animals, well, you can see here, cats really love Tai Chi. I've noticed dogs as well. My wee dog at home when she was younger used to try and catch my fan when I was doing the fan form. She thought it was a stick and thought it was great fun until I opened it, and then she got a bit, oh, don't know about that. But it's very calming. It's a very calming practice. Animals love Tai Chi. I used to teach out in Crossgar with a gentleman farmer, and they had a family of donkeys, a mummy donkey, a daddy donkey, and a baby donkey. And they used to just come and be mesmerised and just stand and watch us as we practiced out in the field. It was really cool. It's just lovely. So yeah, if you have any pets at home, I don't know, some might get a bit weirded out and want your attention or whatever, but in general it seems they just want to be with you as you do your Tai Chi. So it's good for all the family. Alright, so what do we have next? We have the thumpy one, the Chinese drum. So we step open and sit back and down into your stance, and off you go. So we're actually using the inner blade of the hand by letting the thumb tuck rather than stick out, and so you're kind of chopping your liver and your kidneys. But really it's not an arm movement, as always with Tai Chi. This is a center movement. You're turning in your center, your waist is turning that little bit, and that fuels the movement. And you breathe. Try to relax the crease between your body and your legs. Let it release so that you feel nice and free. Good. All right, now we come up, and I'll just come over a wee bit. This movement is in essence the same, but much higher, much smaller. And the idea is that the arms are like water. You're moving your center and you're feeling the center move, and the arms are just, they've melted away and they're just flowing with the movement. And that's what it feels like when you do push hands with the master. You try and push him and he's just not there. It's just like pushing a sheet on a line. There's no resistance whatsoever. In fact, there's probably more resistance with the sheet on the line than there is with the master. He moves like water. You can't find a purchase when everything is just so relaxed. Very good, right, back to center, well done. Relax for a moment, rest. And close. Very good, and recover. Something that struck me as I went to say thank you and goodbye to Master Chen. I went to shake his hand because he shakes hands, it's very nice. I don't tend to shake people's hands, but I'll shake the master's hand. But I was almost expecting to be crushed, to have my hand crushed. But he had the gentlest, very warm, but very, what's the word? Sensitive handshake. And that's Tai Chi in a nutshell, it's sensitivity. So whenever you're shaking somebody's hand, you're feeling for their energy and you're matching it. So you don't need to crush their hand to show your strength, because actually if you're crushing their hand, you're taking away all sensitivity to what's going on in their palm. So even shaking hands, though we don't do it in Tai Chi, we do something similar. Often we would use the back of the hands in Yang style, or the wrist point. Let's come forward so that you can see this. Yeah, so in Yang style, I did more pushing hands, and you would literally have this. So if we turn a wee bit, you can just see the backs of the palms are gently touching. But in Chen style, what we've been doing more recently, it would actually be the wrist point. So if we turn a wee bit so you can see, we're actually just touching what? Thank you. In acupuncture would be referred to as the snuff box. So this little sort of hollow after the hand, in around the wrist and before the forearm. So that point is touching. So in Tai Chi, when we're doing push hands, when we're connecting with somebody else, we're making that contact and we're listening with that point. So if there's any kind of ego involved, that you're wanting to dominate the situation, you're going to press, you're going to push, and then you're completely insensitive to what the other person is expressing, because you're just creating noise, a loud noise with your own energy. So actually with Tai Chi, it should be so gentle. It's not weak. There's power there, but it's very, very gentle touch so that you can hear and feel. So when I went to shake the master's hand, I got this really gentle, very friendly. It wasn't limp or weak by any manner of means, but it was very soft. And I was very impressed. I was like, wow, that's nice. Because when you go to shake hands with a powerful person, you expect to be crushed, don't you really? I have been many times. Lovely, friendly people, not even, not meaning to hurt me in any way, but just a warm, friendly handshake, and I'm going, ah! especially if you have rings on. It's hard. So yeah, I was impressed. Even the shaking of the hands with the master, I felt was a good lesson. Okay, so back into our practice. We're just going to do a couple of seconds, a couple of minutes maybe, of standing practice. At the beginning of our training this weekend, I thought to myself, I just want to stand this weekend. I want to get lots and lots of standing correction. And I don't know if the universe heard me, but we got lots of opportunities for standing and long stands. So 40, 45 minutes. Brilliant. Really loved it. We're not going to do that now, but we're going to do a few minutes. I got a lot out of it. Let's see if we can do a little bit together. We lengthen up, please, through the top of the head, the chin slightly down and back. Let's take a moment or two in Wuji. Calming down. Listening behind. And let's release through belly, hips, and knees. Feel down into the ankles, feel into the feet. Weight into your right, step open into the left, and shift your weight. Now I would definitely, even though the master didn't, we're not there yet, I would definitely check your feet for standing. Not for form, but for standing. Make sure that they're level, parallel, comfortable, happy. Let your toes spread. Then let's check posture again. Relaxing down, finding all 10 fingers. Make sure they're awake. Allow your body to relax. Again, please relax into the crease of your legs. Make sure there's no tension there. You're releasing, allowing the energy to continue down into the legs. Into the feet. Feel the connection with the floor. Raise your arms. Nice and slow. Listen, feel, and let go. Good, let's very gently and slowly lower the arms down. Cover center, please. We're not going to do the circulations because I'd like to get into the form itself, and that will act as a circulation of energy. But I'd like to repeat what I've mentioned previously, that Ying Jun, Master Chen, has answering a question, does it matter which direction you spiral in first here? The response was no. And actually I noticed that in training, that he went, I don't want to use clockwise and anti-clockwise, but he went up the left side and across the top first, which is not what we have learned before, but as he says, it doesn't matter. So he was proving that by his own practice. So let's relax down, please. So that's nice and freeing and hopefully useful to you, that it doesn't actually matter which direction you go in first when you circle around your belly, as long as you do both equally. For the longest time, we were taught you go up the right side across and down to the left first, because that's the direction of your large intestine. So if you feel you'd rather stick with that, that's great. But if the master doesn't think that, this particular master doesn't think that it matters, fair enough. I think it's quite freeing. I actually like it when they blow these things out of the water and go, well, it doesn't matter. Because we get very het up about these things, don't we? Or we can't do, or I do. Okay, folks, so Lao Jia Yi Lu, we've just about time to do the whole form. Shall we do it together? Try and squeeze it in? Yeah. Okay. So, that all right there? Yeah. So prepare, please. Calming down. Ready? Start. Continue. Sorry, I'm kind of overtaking the one. Keep going. We're just adjusting our stance for this space. Should we jump it?
Sure.
Okay, go. Now let's rewind and do that again for the non-jumpers. Ready? And No, we need more space. Should we move on it? Sorry. Maybe.
Oh yeah, sorry. After the kick, just so we finish facing front, keep your position and pull your right shoulder back, and then continue. Just yeah, keep going. Good, keep going. Good. Recover. And close. Beautiful. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is my alarm saying it's 9 o'clock, stop teaching. I'll have to think about that alarm because it gets in the way. Well done. So you maybe noticed things done a little differently because we're trying very hard to retain as much of what of the feedback that we were given from the master as possible. Obviously we don't have time to go through any of that today, but maybe you can see it if you use this video in repetition. Master Chen does tend to have quite compact stances. He certainly brought me in a bit. But basically any of my corrections were pretty much follow the, what's the word? Principles. Everything comes down to principles. So nothing should move if the center doesn't move. So your center shouldn't move and then your arms just keep going indefinitely. You're allowed a little bit of, repercussion, but the center moves, the arms move. If the center doesn't move, the arms don't move. So a lot of when I did get correction, it was stop waving your arms around, move your center. The arms will do it. The arms will do it. Move your center. And you get a far more powerful, far more structured movement. So it's kind of like nothing new, but being reminded of the principles changes everything. So it's seeing again what should have been there all along. It's like follow the principles. Center moves, arms move. Folks, I hope you enjoyed today. We're trying to do a very true to Chen style without any of my normal playing around with various other wee exercises and warm-up. I hope you enjoyed it. Did you enjoy yourself? Yeah, very good. It's so easy to fall back into old habits, but trying to retain as much as possible after studying with a master, it's golden. And really, for progress, to retain the good stuff and to progress, it means a lot of practice. Even just once a day, just keeping it in the system. It's easy to fall out of that when, when you fall sick, for example, or if all of a sudden life gets busy. But we're doing our best. I don't want to banjax it by saying we're going to do this and then not doing it, but every time we go and train with a master, we really feel galvanized and inspired to really pull up our socks and strive. We might never get to master level, but we can certainly improve on what we've got. So it just takes a wee bit of effort. Folks, let's finish with a salute. So we'll say thank you to Dylan. It's lovely to have you. Thank you. Lao Jia Yi Lu. And thank you to yourselves. Xie San Hao. Without you, why are we here? So thank you so much and happy training, and we will see you next time.